In a world of uncertainty, we are facing a crucial moment. In 2025, in biblical prophecy, 4 trends stand out. Get ready to uncover the signs of the times. It's more than just a sermon. It's a call to pay attention to prophecies that align with our world today. As we approach 2025, the importance of these prophecies grows. Trend number 1, the emergence of global unity and governance. As the world becomes more interconnected through technology, trade, and geopolitics, we may see attempts to form stronger global alliances and possibly a move toward a more unified global governance system. Biblical references such as Revelation 13:7 and 8 speak of a worldwide power that has authority over all tribes, peoples, tongues, and nations. What you need to watch for is the trend in continued global unity and governance, preparing and setting the world stage for a significant prophetic figure, the Antichrist. This wave of integration is not just a mere coincidence, it is a vital step in preparing the ground for the emergence of the global leader to come, the Antichrist. When witnessing the formation of alliances and unions between countries, it is crucial to remember that this is not just geopolitics at play, but the manifestation of ancient prophecies. Scripture has long indicated that a man is prophesied to come and lead the world by exerting unprecedented influence and controlling a vast global system. Everything you observe in the world is interconnected. No event is isolated. Nothing exists in isolation. As you watch history unfold, remember, everything is interconnected. Every war, every rumor of war, every alliance and every disagreement is part of God's prophetic timeline. The world is not in chaos. Although you may be surprised by current events, God is not. All events are moving forward according to God's prophetic timeline. An in-depth analysis of global economic systems and digital currencies reveals a complex and intriguing scenario. The emergence of cryptocurrencies and the increasing digitalization of financial transactions are shaping a new global economic landscape. The push for a unified global digital currency is intensifying, aiming to simplify transactions and establish a universally accepted economic system. This transition away from physical cash is not just about efficiency or security concerns. It is a reflection of the world's gradual movement towards unity in all sectors, including the economy. A unified digital currency could essentially pave the way for this prophesied leader to have unprecedented control over global trade. As these trends continue to unfold in 2025 and beyond, it is essential to view them not just as isolated geopolitical or economic events, but as significant pieces that fit into the vast puzzle of end times prophecy. By observing these patterns, believers can discern the times and prepare their hearts and minds for what is coming on the prophetic calendar. Apostasy and the departure from the true faith are themes that arouse deep concerns and reflections. In current times, we are witnessing an erosion of the foundations of faith that sustain Christianity. Paul's powerful words in 2 Thessalonians 2:3 about falling away or apostasy are becoming more relevant than ever. The term apostasy, derived from the Greek apostasia, carries a deep meaning that includes departure, separation, defection, and revolt. In 2 Thessalonians 2:3, this is not just a casual match. It signals a large number of people turning away from God. It's not just a few individuals or a minority. It is an unprecedented global rebellion against God. We are witnessing this in our times. I have never seen anything like it in my life. The world has undergone significant changes. I observed a moral shift of biblical proportions. The world seems to hate what is holy and righteous, while embracing sin and ungodliness. There are churches today that openly allow pastors to live in sin and celebrate and glorify injustice. By 2025, we will witness more of this great shift in all nations. There are a growing number of deserters in the churches, The fervor that many had for the Lord diminished, the love of many for the Lord cooled. The church has infiltrated the world, and the world has infiltrated the church. As we approach 2025, it is crucial to address the growing influence of technology and the emergence of what is known as the mark of the beast. Technological advancement has been exponential, bringing society to a point where concepts previously considered far-fetched become increasingly plausible. The prophecy in Revelation 13:16-17 describes a scenario in which people will have a mark on their right hand or forehead, a mark essential for carrying out basic economic transactions. While this may have seemed unimaginable a few decades ago, rapid technological evolution makes this image increasingly tangible. Constant surveillance and data collection are common practices today, paving the way for a global system of control predicted in Scripture. In 2025, we can anticipate the strengthening of this technological trend and its convergence with biblical prophecies, alerting us to the signs of the times and encouraging us to reflect on the impact of these changes on our spiritual lives. As we approach 2025, moral decay and changes in social values become increasingly evident. We observe a scenario in which selfishness, arrogance, blasphemy, and the loss of natural affection are on the rise. It is crucial to recognize and address this moral decay, as it sheds light on a society that prioritizes the individual over the collective. The biblical warning about becoming lovers of themselves resonates hauntingly today. From couples who prioritize their desires above their families to the phenomenon of the celebrity pastor, where the leader becomes more prominent than the teachings of Jesus Christ, the emphasis on self is blinding us to the needs of others. We are witnessing the formation of a new religion, the religion of the self and the pursuit of pleasure. This religion of pleasure is not new. Fallen humanity has always been attracted to it. Today, many worship at the altar of pleasure, living in an era dominated by pleasure seekers rather than God seekers. An era that embraces the motto, "Eat, drink, and be happy, for tomorrow we die." The religion of pleasure is really the worship of the flesh. We must be vigilant, for our nature is naturally drawn to pleasure, including the fleeting pleasures that sin offers. None of us are immune to this seduction. In 2025, the world will be increasingly likely to worship at the altar of pleasure. It is up to us to resist selfish temptations and remain faithful to sacred teachings. In 2025, one of the crucial trends to watch is the intensification of geopolitical conflict and growing tensions between world powers. As we approach this landmark year, we see an increasingly volatile global landscape with territorial disputes, historical rivalries, and conflicting interests shaping international relations. Prophetic references point to a period of unrest and instability in which nations will rise against nations and kingdoms against kingdoms. The search for scarce resources, political power at stake, and ideological rivalries are creating a cauldron of tensions that echo ancient prophecies about final events. The world is on the verge of major changes, and it is crucial to be aware of the signs of these imminent conflicts that will shape the global scenario heading into 2025. As we approach 2025, one of the most striking aspects to note is the resurgence of spiritual and religious movements that challenge traditional structures. We are witnessing a search for meaning and transcendence that transcends established boundaries and dogmas. This wave of eclectic and personalized spirituality is shaping new forms of faith expression, where people seek deeper connections with the divine outside of conventional religious institutions. The proliferation of alternative spiritual practices, such as meditation, energy healing, and astrology, reflects a growing desire for an individualized and inclusive spirituality. In the midst of these spiritual transformations, it is essential to discern between a genuine search for truth and mere fads. Keep an eye on these emerging movements and learn how they will impact the global spiritual landscape heading into 2025. As we approach 2025, an intriguing trend to watch is the emergence of cosmic events and celestial phenomena that spark questions about the role of the universe in the prophetic narrative. The convergence of eclipses, planetary alignments, and other unusual astronomical events can be interpreted in light of Scripture as signs of the times. Ancient prophecies mention the importance of the stars as divine messengers, indicating significant changes in the course of human history. Understanding these celestial events requires a careful approach and attention to detail, as each movement of the celestial bodies may contain hidden messages about divine designs for humanity. Be prepared to gaze into the cosmos for clues about the future unfolding before us. As we approach 2025, a phenomenon worthy of attention is the rise in environmental awareness and climate change as prophetic signs. Environmental deterioration and natural disasters on a global scale echo biblical warnings about the earth as a reflection of humanity's spiritual condition. Ancient prophecies mention nature as a key element in the final revelations, indicating that extreme weather events and environmental degradation have deeper meanings than simply earthly matters. The link between spiritual health and care for creation is emphasized in Scripture, revealing that the restoration of the earth is intrinsically linked to the spiritual redemption of humanity. Be attentive to nature's signs and calls to preserve the planet, as they may contain important messages about the prophetic future unfolding before us. As we approach 2025, one trend that deserves our attention is the emergence of social and political movements that challenge established power structures. We are witnessing a wave of protests and demonstrations across the world, driven by demands for social justice, equality, and significant system change. The voices of those marginalized and oppressed are becoming louder and more united, calling for profound reforms in various spheres of society. This global movement of empowerment and activism is redefining traditional narratives and challenging established norms, promoting a collective awakening to pressing issues such as human rights, gender equity, and environmental sustainability. Be aware of these dynamic changes that are shaping the political and social landscape heading into 2025, as they have the potential to profoundly impact the future of humanity. Keep an eye on these trends and prepare yourself spiritually for what's to come in 2025. As the world moves toward a new order, believers must find strength in their faith and in Scripture. Stand firm, strengthening the foundations of your beliefs.